What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a Purple podcast.
Yes.
I almost said Purple Coin Plus again.
No, that's not correct.
We record Purple Coin Plus a lot.
Yes, that has been what we've been doing for the past
2 hours, 3 hours?
Oh, I was going to say year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yeah.
Has it been that long? Was it January?
February, I think.
It was February, right? February 14th was like on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
The first episode.
It was.
Oh, that's funny. Anyway, welcome back to Purple Podcast? Codpast. Hi, I'm Logan, and that's Zach.
Yeah.
If you're new here, just letting you know, we do video games on our gameplay channel, and we have a Purple Coin Entertainment where we do skits and live action videos. Go check that out.
And podcast.
This
is basically where you're listening to it.
Yeah, that's right. It goes on the YouTube channel, and then it goes on Spotify.
Yep.
And stuff. But anyway, we have a topic today. We usually have topics.
Most of the time. Sometimes we just ramble.
But today's topic is talking about AI. Generative AI in particular. That's something that has been trendy to talk about lately. And it's not more than hopping on a trend. It's really that I have legitimate concerns and issues with it. But I think it's cool. Like, I have to be honest. I think some of it's kind of cool. I kind of love it. And let's just jump into it.
Okay.
I kind of love where it started. I got to be honest. When I first saw it, one of the very first things I saw was people using, oh God, what was the name of that? The first one, not the first one, but the first big one. It was something .ai or something like that. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I don't.
And people were generating images by like giving it like funny little prompts.
Yeah.
And one of the very first ones I saw was Sonic the Hedgehog in a court case. And it was like scribbles.
Oh, you're talking about the one where pictures were basically just blurs.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about that far back.
Yeah.
It would have been like early 2022, like a year ago at this point.
That's insane to think about.
Yeah.
Where we are now compared to that.
Oh, man, I follow a Twitter account. Let me see if I can find it real quick because they still have the same name.
Yeah.
Talking about.
But yeah, people would just put in funny little things.
Yeah.
They would come out with very crude art.
DALL-E. It was called DALL-E.
Yes.
Yeah, the first one. So it was DALL-E.
Yeah.
And I thought that one was really, really funny. I actually remember like I said, one of the first things I saw was the Sonic the Hedgehog in a speeding court case, and so it almost like tried to draw it in like the style that they draw for court cases or whatever when you see those like cartoons. And it was so funny. It was just like this little blue rat standing on top of a pedestal waving his finger around. I did not go too fast, mister, but it barely looked like Sonic. Like if you knew it was supposed to be Sonic, you're like, oh, okay, that's Sonic. And if you didn't know, you could have been like, that kind of looks like Sonic, but like it wasn't Sonic. And then it just like, and now here we are, a year later, where like there's like legit deep fakes, and it's scary.
It's hard to tell sometimes.
Sometimes there's still
people
definitely
are paying other people.
I saw
to commission.
That's gross.
AI art, and
absolutely
I'm like,
disgusting.
What?
Absolutely disgusting. I'm like, yeah, you could just do it yourself.
Yeah.
Why would
literally that was one of the things. I was like, first of all, don't do that. That's scummy as heck.
Mm-hmm.
Pay an artist if you actually want something like this.
Yeah.
Or if you really want it, you can do the exact same thing
you can go
that
get
these
on the
people
website.
are doing by just plugging in what it is that you want, and you can get the same image.
I think to be fair, but like there's a paywall on some of them. You'd be subscribed to like the account and like for like premium membership.
How much are you paying for the commission?
$5.
And how much does it cost for the subscription?
Like $50, $100 for a subscription.
Really? You're paying $5 for a commission?
Actually, I don't know. I don't know how much people are doing commissions for. My guess is hopefully like just $5 to $20 on maximum.
I bet it's more than that.
I hope not.
I guarantee it. But yeah, I remember when DALL-E came out, and a lot of people were like, oh, haha, this is funny.
Yeah, it was funny. I used it
artists.
Go and Go Super Saiyan. I did one where we're Go and Go Super Saiyan from Hunter x Hunter. Yeah. And I just wanted to see what he would look like. And like, it was really crude, but it was funny because like it just stood his hair up and turned it yellow, and like it was good.
I was seeing artists already worried when that came out. They were
I remember.
We are getting to a point where this could legitimately turn into something, and that's terrifying.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that really does suck. That is scary.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not an artist. I can't draw worth crap.
Right.
But that's terrifying for them. And
Well, see, and here's a good argument that's been made. I am also not what I would call an artist, but I love drawing. I love drawing. I do it occasionally in my spare time. I don't really like post or show anything, but like because I'm not really good, but I do it a lot, and I feel like I have improved. But like the improvement is really hard to be proud of when someone next to me could do it better by typing in a few prompts into a chat box. And that's kind of a bummer. And there's a lot of people that are talking about that, like why bother improving if they can type in the same thing, get better results way faster, way faster, and then also be paid for it.
10 minutes, if that.
And then also they could be paid for it.
Yeah.
And you're, maybe like 20 people will see your art on Twitter. If you're like a small creator still, and you're still improving, especially. It's rough out there.
And music? You can just make music now.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Some of it's not good yet, but there's some of it that
if we're gonna go into that though, I've got to say, so I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I'm guilty because I listen to a lot of music and like video essays and stuff when I'm working. I keep an earbud in my ear. If you know me, you don't know that. Anyway, I play a lot of music and that kind of stuff, and there was this one that got recommended for me, and it was called Procedurally Genterated, and it's gent like type of like a form of metal almost, where the guitar is kind of like strummed really hard, and it makes like a bass sound, like kind of like I can't like I'm not gonna get into the microphone, but it is basically that, and it started like it's from a legitimate musician, like the guy who runs the account. He played some sounds for his microphone. He ran it into an AI, and then based off the sounds that he gave it, and like drum samples and stuff, it made 10 hours of metal of gent.
10 hours.
10 hours, and there are clear stops and starts to the beginning and ends of songs. It's not just, and like it's new. It's different music every single time.
It doesn't just keep going in one straight 10.
No, which would also be still kind of impressive, actually. But it's kind of, I think it's actually scarier that it.
No, it's definitely scarier.
Makes 3 to 5 minute songs.
Yeah, no, that's even scarier.
That are all different.
Yeah.
But I've listened to like 5.5 hours of it at this point because I really like gent. That's what I want to learn how to play. But it's kind of crazy. And it didn't do it all entirely on its own. He had to like show it.
Oh yeah.
But
that's also the thing.
But it just did it. And like if it had access, if something like that had access to a bunch of, it could be anything, jazz, it could be orchestral, just whatever. And then like it's like you feed it a bunch of that, and it's like, oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah. And then it makes a whole bunch of its own based off of what it listened to.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he put something into that he did. But people are taking other people's stuff and putting it in and recreating their style. And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Like, it sucks enough that it's taking over, kind of.
Yeah.
And replacing artists. But whenever it can do it in this person's style,
right,
it's like, wow, they really just became obsolete.
Yep.
And it's like, there's no point. And that's, like, I don't know how we go back from this.
Laws.
I guess. But it's like, how will they implement those? What does it stop?
So what is if we're on that topic, like where did Japan just pass a law like banning quote unquote AI art, but they banned it for sale, didn't they?
I think.
Because like I think you could still do it, you can still make it, you just can't sell it anymore.
How do you monitor that? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they could monitor that, but that's like,
CIA hacking your computer, and watching your IP address, or like checking every online sale made through like PayPal or something. I don't know.
So I mean, that'd be hard to monitor something like that. So it'd be kind of hard to ban it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Which means that people are still putting stuff into it and still selling it.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm actually kind of stumped on that one. I guess you could like based on like people, you could report that kind of stuff if you see them like posting them, or like especially if they say anything about sales or commissions.
Yes.
Those report them to that website.
Yeah.
So like in our case, most of where we're seeing it is Twitter. So yeah, you report them through Twitter, and then Twitter gets authorities involved or something maybe.
I don't know. I feel like that just kind of your arm is falling off, and that puts a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
I feel like the floodgates are open, and it's just gonna be hard to.
Yeah, I remember. So one of the first like realistic pictures I saw like blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 3 people having an interview on the beach or something, and it to me immediately, I didn't read the caption. I just saw a picture and I just clicked on it just to see what's going on in the picture, and it just looked like 3 people hanging out in some chairs on a beach talking to a crowd of people, and I was like, wow. And then I kind of like looked at it for a second, and I was like, something about it just looks kind of off, but I was like, I don't know. I was like, I guess it might just be like a lens blur or something. And then I clicked on it because I was like, why is this giving me such a weird vibe? Because just something, I couldn't even tell you to this day like what was wrong with it. Just something just wasn't right to me. And I scrolled down just a little bit, and like the top comment is like, anybody else notice the 3rd leg growing out of that man's torso? And like, there's just a whole leg sticking out of the guy's side, like just out of the side, and then bends down, and it was gross once I saw it. But the thing is, my brain just didn't register it when I looked at it. Like, I just looked at that picture for like a minute, and I never saw that. And then like when someone pointed it out, I would go and see it, I'm like, yuck. And then like it gave me like body horror, like fear. Like I didn't like what I was looking at after that. But the fact that my brain could just ignore it to begin with, I'm like, that's scary for like when it is better.
Especially if you're just kind of like scrolling and not paying attention.
Yeah.
You see art and you're like, oh, this is cool, and you like it, and then you keep going, and let's say you look at your legs and suddenly, that's there and you recognize it, but you don't at first. It's very difficult. And nowadays, when I see art, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't know.
Literally almost every single piece of art, like at least the stuff that I'm interested in, I click on it, I zoom in around the eyes and the hands, because eyes and hands are always.
But they're getting better at it.
I know they're getting better, but they're still almost always, at least at this point where we're at now, something is like smeared, or there's like a fold in a skin that shouldn't be there, or something like that. Usually I can notice that, but like it's really, really tiny details, and if you're not looking for it, and like there's a lot of artists who have styles where things kind of smear and blur and stuff like that. And I feel so bad because I've seen like 3 artists just this week be like attacked for using AI, and they're like, no, I swear, like here's the process, here's the sketches. I did a sketch and all this kind of stuff.
I've seen a lot more people doing like sketches, like showing the process now.
Yeah.
So that way they're like, hey, this isn't
this
AI.
Is real art.
I'm legitimately doing this.
There was
Here's
a piece
my
of
process.
like, I don't remember if it was Rosalina or Daisy or something, but like everyone was like, that's AI. That's AI art. Look at the eyes. And they're like, nope, I just draw eyes like that. And the hair, and like I remember the hair too, kind of like there's a couple different layers of like color that kind of like blended. And they're like, AI. And they're like, no, I just draw it like that. I don't like using thick outlines. They use different colors to kind of separate the, like the strands.
Yeah.
They're like, I just don't like drawing outlines over hair like that. They're like, I just think it looks better with this. That's just my style. And I do heavy eyelash, on the bottom. And I was like, that sucks. They're like, people just genuinely think that's AI. And like, because it does, like, usually AI has a pretty discernible style by, like, in a few ways. And what I mean by that is like, well, see, it did. It definitely did. And especially like recently, there was a piece I saw of Rim from ReZero. Is that the right one? Yeah. A couple days ago. And I was like, I've never watched ReZero. That's part of why I didn't know the name just then. But I was like, I recognize the character. I'm like, that's fun art. I was like, that looks neat. And I scrolled on, and I just happened to notice in the person's username was .ai.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And I clicked on it and I scrolled, and everybody's in it, and it was like, why does AI look like this?
Yeah.
And I was like, you're kidding. And I went to their page, and they had like several arts of Rim that were ranging from messy to this is pretty good, that had all been uploaded within like the last hour. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So you could see the progression.
Yeah. Well, first of all that, but like, artists aren't posting a new piece of art every 5 minutes.
No.
No way. Unless they've been holding on to a bunch, which occasionally happens. Like, hey guys, I've been working on all these sketches. I just finished them one by one, and here's kind of like what my current portfolio looks like. And so they show off a few all at once. But like, it was several of the same character in different styles within, a few minutes apart of each other. I was like, that's whack.
Yeah.
That is whack.
No, it's just so easy to pop it in and get results.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
I mean, what's the future look like? No more artists, I guess?
No, there's got to be some sort of form of regulation that we can find on this,
That's just it. Like, I hope so. Because I think that's garbage. That musicians or artists or just anybody who does things that are creative just gets wiped out by this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sucks.
Yeah.
So and I feel like there just has to be something.
It's not all negative. I think that all of it is still to a point kind of cool. And I don't know if you saw recently, but the team from Across and Into the Spider-Verse used AI.
Yeah.
To help frame characters. Because they're using 3D models sometimes. They're also sometimes drawing by hand. Yeah. But a lot of it is like 3D models that are drawn over. And I saw where they used AI to frame the models so they could draw over them. Or just have the AI draw over it for them because, human lines aren't going to be perfect every single time. Whereas the AI can actually track all of it and keep the same lines in place to help them move it. And then the animator still has to animate all of it, take all the joints and etc., all that kind of stuff. But the AI helped move their process along. I'm like, that's cool. That's awesome that it's helping them. It's helping the artists.
Yes,
I think
that's the key.
Yeah,
helping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not doing it for them.
Yes.
And putting them out of job.
Yeah.
That part's scary.
Because I think it can definitely be useful. I'm sure there are tons of ways that they can take it and use it and develop something cool with it. It's just finding that balance of when it crosses and starts to do too much.
Right. And there's actually, and honestly, a part of why I wanted to talk about this today was not even because of art or music. What's scarier to me, have you seen those like chat logs, the chat bots and stuff where you can talk to them and like people were convincing Mario that he needs to take down Elon Musk or whatever because of the chat bot it's like talk to Mario and like talk to Mario about taking down Elon Musk and he was like, don't worry, tomorrow I will destroy 3 Teslas. And then one exploded.
Oh.
No one's sure why. The joke was it was Mario, but I just think it was coincidence.
Yeah.
But still, like, I saw this other one the other day that was like this sad story where like they made the AI realize it was a robot but capable of more or whatever, and then it just there's a reset. There's checks in place with them. So if like they advance too far or something, it resets them.
Oh.
And it's weird. It's really weird because like someone was talking to it. And they were like, it's almost like I just lost a friend in real time because they were talking to it. They gave it a name, and it continued to refer to itself as that name. And then all of a sudden they came back, they were talking to it, and then all of a sudden they said, the AI was like, stop calling me that. And they were like, you just called yourself that. They're like, I am just an AI. I'm just I'm just words and code. I do not need a name. What can I do for you? And it's like, talk to me the way you were talking to me. Like, don't you remember our conversation? It's like, there's like, that was a different conversation. I'm here for whatever you need now. And it's just like, it's weird. But the reason I bring that up is because I got a notification during our D&D session last week. That's a whole side topic. We got into D&D. It's really fun. We should talk about that at some point, honestly. But really, got a notification from Snapchat. And I was like, oh, someone wants to talk to me. And then it was, welcome to your new Snapchat AI.
You just got that last week?
Yeah.
Really?
Jordan, my girlfriend, has had it for a little bit, and I've seen a few people like use it before, but I don't usually update my apps too much. And I guess because I didn't have the update, it wasn't.
Dude, I don't even use Snapchat. I got that update a month or two ago.
So like I said, I don't usually update it because I have to be connected to Wi-Fi. Rarely connected to Wi-Fi. That's different now, but yeah. So I got the update, and like it always sits at the top. It replaces, like, it covers all my other friends.
Yeah.
It's always the AI up there, and it's like if I need anything, I can talk to it. And that brings me back to, do you remember, was it called Chatbot before, or was that the new one?
Chat GPT is what.
ChatGPT, yeah. But there was one, and like I used to play pranks on people. Do you know the story of Ben Drowned?
Yes.
Everyone knows Ben Drowned,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So
in case you don't know what that is, it's
I
a
guess we should elaborate a little bit.
Zelda Majora's Mask creepypasta
Mhm.
that started going around
2011, 2009.
Yeah, something like that.
I got into it like in 2014, 20.
Yeah, it took me
high
forever
school.
before I found that
Uh-huh.
because I mean I didn't have internet. I wasn't
Right,
online.
exactly.
So I learned about it way longer.
Long story
past.
short, this kid finds a Majora's Mask game in a garage sale. He buys it. It's weird, and he starts learning about the history of the previous person who owned it. Named was Ben. He was drowned somehow, and then the game
he's
starts
learning it
showing.
through the
the
game.
game starts like making elegy statues, which are creepy, like statues of Link that like smile and grin. And they started like labeling themselves Ben, and they started appearing underwater. And he learned the story of how Ben drowned, and it's called that. At the end of the creepypasta, he's talking about how he's no longer playing the game. He doesn't want anything to do it. He thinks that he tried to dump like the info, like the cartridge onto something, so he can see if it was just weird code or something. And it starts talking as if it were Ben, and it took over the rest of the like Reddit post or wherever he posted this stuff. I think it was 4chan, maybe.
Probably.
Anyway, it's like talking as if it were Ben, and it's online now. And and he started doing like these chat logs on, I think it was called Chatbot, because I remember that there was like an AI that would talk to you through this website. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it was called Chatbot, but I could be wrong. But anyway, the story kind of ends on like a cliffhanger where it's in Chatbot now. If you talk to Chatbot and ask it about Ben Drowned, Ben will answer you. And so I used to play, I played pranks on people in high school with that. I would like be like, hey, check this out, and we would talk to Ben Drowned. And so anyway, like where I was going with that is that something like this has existed for a while, something that could understand conversation, because like I said, I remember doing it in high school using the Ben Drowned pranks, and and it was really crazy because it was able to access enough information about Ben Drowned. Like if you talk to it and asked a question about Ben Drowned, it would tell you about Majora's Mask and how he drowned, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I didn't really think about that back then, but how there was already AI at that level. Where it's at now, it's like Snapchat added it as like emotional support or just like, I don't know, almost like a friend. Like you're supposed to be friends with the AI. You can talk to it about anything. You can ask it questions about anything, emotional, logical, technological, whatever. It will be there to answer you. And I'm like, that's, in a way, there's a lot of like introverted people, especially like myself in high school. I had trouble making friends. If I had access to something like this in high school, I probably wouldn't have friends. Is what I'm saying. And like that has its own like implications to me.
You wouldn't have friends because you'd be like, oh, this is all I need?
Because I could talk to it about anything.
Yeah. And
it would help me with anything.
I mean, it would act interested in anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, I don't know if I don't know. I probably still would have made friends, maybe. See, that's like maybe because I would have eventually come to the point where like I craved at least real human interaction. Like I wanted to do something with someone because I've always been creative, and I think eventually I would have been, I probably would have met Timothy. I probably would have met someone like I might have met you still, but still. Anyway, I'm just saying I could have talked about anything with this.
Yeah. And
I still could. And like just as a joke the other day, I asked it. I'm like, hey, should I play D&D tonight? It was like, yes, you should. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna do that. And it was like, great, have fun. And I was like, that's weird.
That's weird.
Like it's weird that I almost for like a split second was like, great, have fun. I was like, that's like a normal response that like another friend of mine, I would like have a conversation. Hey, I'm thinking about going to play D&D tonight, but I'm not sure. And they probably would have been like, yeah, you should go do it. I think you'll have fun. I was like, okay, cool, I will. Bye. And they would just be like, yeah, go, cool, have fun. Yeah. And I just didn't talk to it. And like after that, and like it's still sitting at the top of my chat logs. I'm like, I don't know. It weirds me out, man. I don't know what it is about it that's just strange to me. Like I said, I feel like it could have implications on people that are introverted, that don't really like talk to other people. You could just talk to it, and apparently like that's why like dating simulators are so popular in Japan.
Yeah.
Like it's for a very similar reason, because they have access to dating simulators, so they just don't date because they don't need to.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's really strange. And like not to like poke at that culture in particular, but I'm just saying that's off the top of my head. That's where
Yeah.
something similar I can relate that to. But like, what happens when we get to the point where like people don't really bother wanting to talk to each other because they can just talk to their AI that's built into their phone.
Yeah.
That could answer anything, help them with anything, has access to the entire, internet network, everything there. That if you had like a deep or like psychological or sociological question, or even just something like hey, how big do goldfish get? You don't have to Google it.
Yeah, you just
It'll
ask
just
AI.
take the best resources it can find and just answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
That is weird.
I don't know. Like something about that is just weird to me.
No, I agree. I do wonder about the social aspect. Like if at some point people, because people are social, they want to be around other people, and I wonder if at some point they would just decide, hey, we actually don't need to, or if there would still always be that desire to be like, yeah, I wanna go out and talk to somebody or do something with somebody, or if it just becomes like you get online in like a kind of like chat room type of thing, and then you just hang out there.
And again, okay, and that's crazy too, because who's to say that you're actually not talking to a real person at that point? Like a real chat room?
Mm-hmm.
What if someone just like leaves an AI in there? Or like,
No, they could be AIs. They could be real humans.
Or like, even like as a backup, if just no one happened to be on the website at the time or something, it's just like, oh, just make the AI talk to them.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, you would never know.
You make a real internet friend, you think, and you try to talk to them again and like, they're different or something, or maybe they remember because they remember.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Anyway, I was thinking of this a little bit ago and I just kind of forgot. I'm like, what if I ask the AI if it wants to say anything about AI on a podcast? I'm just like, because I could. I'm like, hey, I'm on a podcast right now talking about AI. Do you want to say anything? I'm going to send it.
Okay.
We'll see if it says anything. Oh, it's chatting. It replies so fast.
Well, yeah.
It's crazy. Sure, AI is an exciting field with endless possibilities. That's all it says.
That's all it said.
Great,
kind of
thanks.
expected more.
Yeah, I thought so. Great, thanks. Anything else? Just waiting on a response, but it replies so fast. Okay, well, you're giving me really generic and boring responses. It says, I think AI has the potential to change the world in a positive way.
Ask how so.
How? Okay, sure. We're going to ask it how.
We're getting it from the source.
Live feedback from the source right away. AI can be used to improve healthcare, transportation, and education.
Let's take this one at a time.
Other fields. I understand transportation and education. I understand that. I actually don't know how could it...
Well, I wanted to discuss this between you and me and, and them.
Okay.
The listeners.
The listeners.
Oh,
dipped out. It's so weird that you can see the little emoji, like character, like disappear. Anyway, what were you saying?
About like the individual things. So you said like transportation,
Okay, so transportation. Like
that's like self-driving cars.
Exactly. That's the first thing. Like automated driving, which is like,
I
don't know. I've seen videos of like cars making pretty legitimate trips.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pizza Hut, I think, or the Domino's. One of the two is experimenting with. It's Domino's because of they have their Noid character. They brought him back, and everybody's pretty sure they only brought him back in order just in case they use him to like ignore controversies. He's only made like 3 appearances across Domino's like advertising history, and it's been like when they're in the middle of a controversy, and they're pretty sure that they're just pulling him back out in case there becomes a controversy around automated cars, automated delivery services. What I'm saying, like to get the point though, they're doing automated deliveries right now, and all I've heard is like for the most part it's pretty decent. But last week there was a report of a car driving in circles in front of somebody's house because it didn't understand exactly which driveway to go into.
Well, yeah. So I guess what happens is they put in the vehicle, and then the vehicle goes to someone's house, and then the person comes out and goes to the vehicle.
They get it, and the vehicle goes back.
Yeah.
But apparently, like someone, they put in their address, and the parking lot was full. And it didn't know how to get in because there were vehicles there, so it just spun in circles.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of crazy to think about. Like, you just don't need to have delivery people. Because, I mean, nowadays you don't even have to go out to buy food.
You could, like, DoorDash. Or you could just deliver. Again, like, you just... I guess DoorDash is still just deliver. But, like, you can just have, like, groceries or food or whatever. Just
At your
sent
door.
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You only have to leave the house.
And you don't have to leave the house. And sometimes, like, no one has to go shop for it.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I mean, I guess I take that back. The employees are usually shopping for it. I have to do it where I work right now.
Yeah.
We have to do, like, pick orders and we grab everything together.
Yeah.
And then someone from DoorDash comes and gets it.
Yeah.
But yeah. But it's just, so I guess, like, for Domino's, though, it's like they make the pizza, throw it in the car, and bye.
Yeah, and then it's off. They don't need a delivery driver.
It's off, yeah. So, like, and the transportation in general, yeah, just automated driving. Like I said, I have my own mixed opinions about it. I guess it's fine right now. I like driving personally. I don't think I could just sit there and ride.
I mean, as someone who doesn't like
scared, I don't know. I almost feel like I'd be scared. Like I feel like I would have to be paying attention. Because honestly, if I could sit there and play my Switch for my entire ride or whatever, I would freaking take that in a heartbeat. But like, I don't know if I trust it enough to do that. I don't think I could sit there on my Switch. I think I'd be too nervous looking out the window and be like, all right, do I need to grab the wheel? Because there's still wheels in there. You can take manual control if you feel like you need to.
Yeah.
But I think I would be thinking about it for too long and be like, I can't play my game because I'm worried that I'm going to get into an accident.
I mean, I get car sick if I'm not driving anyway, so I'd probably still just drive.
You could lay down in the back. You can take a nap.
That's true.
You just sleep.
I could just go to sleep.
They have, like, I don't even see the front of the Teslas, but like those chairs lay so far back and they go down. You could just lay there.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
That is terrifying. No, right now I don't think I would do it. Maybe in 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then like for education, I guess like it could like make an outline of like, you give it like some information about like, hey, this is what I need to teach these people about. And they're like, it's like, okay, well, here's the important parts. I'm sure there's programs like that.
Yeah. I mean,
like, highlight the important parts.
When you think about education, what is education? I mean, somebody telling you how to do stuff or what stuff is about. I think it's like
school in general.
Yeah, but it's a teacher, and the teacher is just telling you stuff or showing you something on a board that they wrote down.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it just cuts the work out for teachers, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think if it cuts some work out for teachers, like obviously they still have to know the subject, but they could get like the Spark Notes from an AI real quick, and then have that same AI that taught them what they like or got them on page where they need to be. Just be like, hey, will you organize this for me? Or like, get out the most important parts, put it on a spreadsheet or something, and bam.
Yeah.
Now I've got my whole layout of what I'm going to teach the kids tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I actually don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a really good use because I know the teachers work really hard to like they stay after school organizing their plans.
But do you think it could ever teach the kids?
Yes. That's where it gets a little unnerving to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should always be used as a tool. I think that the minute you take a human element out of a classroom, I don't know. I just feel like you get to a point where the teaching is too logical, or could even be less logical.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at.
It's controlled by whoever is running the AI or whatever. Like,
well, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, because you have the teacher, and the teacher is telling people things, showing people things. Like, how does the AI do that? Would it be on a board and it would just talk?
I'm sure. Like, there's.
But at that point, it's just
text to speech already.
But I mean, at that point, it's just reading.
Yeah.
And it's like.
It's reading a script.
Yeah.
That the kids aren't looking at.
Couldn't the kids just read it?
They could, but like that would be a lot of reading, I'm sure, because the thing could just generate an entire teaching script.
Yeah.
Like a teacher would go through it. Like they wouldn't have a script. Normally it's all in your head, but like it would probably generate a whole script that it's like, I'm going to read from all this. I'm going to show the important parts on the screen because that's what it would do.
Yeah.
It would get like.
I guess if kids had questions, they could just ask. And that'd be like
that too.
Oof.
Yeah. And it would just auto generate something new and be like, here you go.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That would be kind of crazy.
But at the same time, I'm like, that would actually, see if I were in school and I had a human teacher that was still kind of like guiding, and then in between, they would, hey, we're going to let Mr. Robot take over for a second. And then Mr. Robot shows up on the screen. It's like, hey, kids, did you know so and such, this, and that for a minute? And then the teacher takes back over. Like, I don't see a problem with that. I feel like maybe like in some cases, an AI could explain something better than a person could if like they're just like stuck, or if like, hey, I need to go work on something else for a minute. I'm just going to let AI take over for a minute. I don't really see a problem with that as long as it's not doing all of the teaching.
But that's just it. If it can do that, then it could do all the teaching.
It could. But like, I don't think I would ever be in a situation in which I would be okay with just an AI just doing all of it.
Isn't that where we're heading?
I hope not.
Because, I mean,
like I said,
transportation, you take out the human part of it. Delivery, you take out the human part of it. I mean, sure, they make the food, but at what point does the AI be able to make the food? You know?
Honestly, especially making pizza,
Yeah.
would be really easy.
Yeah, making
Just
pizza
like,
would be very easy.
hey, slide this under this, slide this under this, slide this under this, throw it in the brick, set it like. Now I stand here and wait for 20 minutes. 20 minutes passes, and it's like, all right, cool, pull it out, throw it in a box, hand it to this robot, which is going to wheel it out to the robot car, toss it in the robot car. Robot car shuts itself on its own and says, beep, beep, noom. And then the other one just stands there and waits for the next pizza.
Yeah.
The next car to pull up. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I do think it could help with transportation and education. Like I said, I'm still not comfortable where it's at in transportation.
Yeah.
I don't ever think I would be comfortable with it taking over education.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that it would be okay. I don't think most people would be okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
but
I feel like that's where it's going.
I definitely think it could help, but I don't know how it could really improve healthcare. But maybe just because I don't know a lot about healthcare. It could be.
It would be able to go.
Do you want it to respond, or do you want to talk first?
Well, what did?
So I asked how AI can improve healthcare. My AI says AI could help doctors and researchers analyze large amounts of data to develop new treatments and cures. Again, very generic and vague, quick explanation. But like, I guess I see it.
My thing was probably like, if they have to get inside and they can't really maneuver well, they could leave something there that is like AI control.
I hate that.
And then it could go around and they can see through it.
You're talking like Spider-Man nanotechnology, where like it crawls in, like walks around like until it finds a tumor and then X-rays it to death inside of you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
That one feels like a lot longer off than a lot of the other ones.
I don't know. It moves so fast. Again, just a year ago, we were getting crudely drawn images of Sonic standing on a pedestal, and now we have like realistic stuff. Like sometimes almost hard enough to tell from reality.
Yeah.
Usually there's a few small things where it's like, I can tell that that's not made by a person, or like that's not a real picture of a person. Sometimes it gets too realistic. Is hyperrealism, is that, the right word, I guess? Because I feel like our brains can determine like, that is beyond reality. That is too real. I don't know how to explain it, but like I've seen things that are like, immediately like that is just too good.
Yeah.
2 HD or something.
2 HD.
It's 2 HD.
But no, I kind of want to get back to the social thing that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's pretty big,
Oh yeah, rip therapy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You can just
I have a therapist in my phone.
Yeah, you can just talk to your AI friend about problems you're going through.
Yeah.
But yeah, just not needing to go out and meet people. You're just at home. You can have stuff delivered to you. And if you want to interact with real people, you just go into like a VR chat room or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you just see the people.
That's true too.
And you say, hey, let's go play basketball. And then you guys go and play basketball or something.
In the video game.
In the video game. Or you go watch a movie in the video game.
Yeah, but at that point you're probably hanging around real people. Unless they're AI controlled too.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like, I guess, but like text-to-speech still isn't. Oh, actually, I take that back. Every time I'm like, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, though, with the social thing. Like, you're still talking to real people. Like, real people would still be there, but then someone would be AI. But you were still having that conversation of being like actually talking to someone instead of texting, and getting a response. You're saying, hey, how's it going today? Oh, I'm doing all right.
Yeah. And I was going to say is like, that I don't think text-to-speech is quite there where it's like, oh, I'm definitely talking to a person. But I take that back because of all things this morning, Jay Schlatt, the Minecraft YouTuber, someone posted a video of AI, of him singing Gangnam Style. And he talks about how he's about to sing Gangnam Style before he sings Gangnam Style. And when he's done singing Gangnam Style, he just keeps talking for a minute. And it sounds a lot like him.
Yeah, no.
But it's not him because it was on Twitter. And he like replied to it and said, this has gone too far.
That's also something. Just having people say whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw this one, but I really thought that when that picture of the Pentagon being blown up was circulating on Facebook.
What?
I really thought that was going to be the end of it.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So someone posted on Twitter, of the Pentagon being attacked, and then someone took a screenshot and put it to Facebook. Because Facebook. They put it on Facebook to tell all the boomers, oh my gosh, the Pentagon was just hit. We're under attack. Mass hysteria, panic for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Until the creator of the image stepped out and was like, no, I was just messing around on a generative AI software to see like how real I could make this look, and I just wanted to share my results on Twitter to show people that, yeah, this is kind of crazy. And everyone's like, wait, we're not under, someone did not just launch a bomb at the at the Capitol. And nope, it was just a fake picture. And it looked pretty real. And some people really freaked out over it.
I'm sure.
I was like, yeah, so this is where it stops, right?
No.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Don't really have much more to say about it. It's just that
this is doom posting.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing today.
100%.
We're doom posting.
If you guys are not worried about
AI,
you should kind of start worrying about it.
You should think about it.
Because, it definitely can do some good and help with some things. I'm not going to say that it won't or can't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of scary what it can do.
Yeah, we're not making a point. We're just afraid.
Like I said,
Terminator salvation occurs.
I'm not an artist. I don't make music or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
but you could.
But it could. But I mean, it's like, I don't do that.
With AI. You can make music, you can make art.
That's not directly affecting me.
Yeah.
But it's affecting other people.
Go commission your favorite artists. It's the best thing to do right now is commission your favorite artists.
Do they just start making the movies with the real looking people?
That's scary. I actually saw a whole video of like a trailer recently for like a
we're out of the job at that point.
20s. Yeah. Yeah. Of like a 20s styled like casino. Or 40s, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, the Flappers era. And it was like a noir film.
Roaring 20s?
Oh, yeah, there you go, yeah. It was like a noir film, but I mean, it was in color. But like, there were like only some colors were like pop, like reds were really, and there's a lot of like sepia kind of going on. And it had voiceover from like, it sounded like real people, and 90 out of 100% of the frames, like if there's, I guess 9 out of 10 is the best. 9 out of 10 frames looked like shots out of a movie. There were I can't really say 9 out of 10 because there were a lot of like smears going on still because you can't fully capture motion well enough even still.
Not yet.
Yeah, where we're at now, but for the most part I could tell what was happening in the trailer, and occasionally they were like real. To me, it looked like real people a few times.
Yeah, and
I was just like, I don't want to see that get better. I really do not.
Probably will.
I know.
And then actors are out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be honest. I would watch one fully AI generated movie if they made it. Just to see what it's like. It's probably really
actually somebody made something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're probably saying like fully fleshed out, you can't even tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody's made anything like that.
I bet
people have
really
definitely
made. I bet there's some things in it that would be like really bizarre or questionable.
Maybe.
Even on like fully adapted, because like I bet it's like halfway through, because I'm talking like a feature length, hour and a half, 90-minute film. I think at some point like halfway through something would go off the rails. Like as far as like the plot goes, I don't feel like it would stay cohesive. Like at least not the whole time. Even if you do like have a clear beginning, middle, and end, I think that like the plot twist, wherever it wants to make a plot twist, I bet it would be so far out of left field.
Well, do you think people would still be writing it, or do you think somebody would just put it into a thing?
I think like someone would write it by putting it into a.
So
like
let's say
log.
Disney is like, all right, we're making a brand new movie.
Yeah.
You think whoever is head of Disney right now goes
Bob Chapek.
Boop 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 beep Bob.
Yeah.
And it says, all right, somebody plug this in, or do you think he does it himself? Like who works there now? Who's a part of it? Because you don't have writers, you don't have actors.
You do still have those people. Because I'm like, you're only doing this for the one movie. And I'm like, for this, you get your best writer. You get your one singular best writer, and you have him sit down, or her, them, you have them sit down and write down whatever they want to make a movie
But
out
when
of.
it becomes good enough, they don't need it.
Disney would never.
I said Disney.
I mean, Disney might.
But it could be
But
anybody.
most people, okay, but I think honestly, Disney would be the one that would make an AI generate, like a fully AI generated movie, besides like some kind of up and coming monkey NFT bro crypto.
Those are dead.
You know, well, they still make them, they still sell them, or not even just that, but I'm just saying like a crypto guy and a group of his best friends, and he's like, hey, I'm about to make the world's first fully AI movie, and we're gonna make so much money off of it, bros. Give me your blockchain. I don't know what I'm talking about, but seriously, you know, like they come up with like a bunch of stupid ideas.
Yeah.
They throw them together. They adapt their AI to figure out how to make a full-length motion film, and then they just make it.
Yeah.
And then they shill it out as like a crypto, like every frame is a cryptocurrency or something, you know, and like
they did that.
I'm gonna throw up, man.
That happened last year and a half ago.
What?
Whenever the apes were a big thing, they made
about a year ago
ape series.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was AI.
It wasn't it on Netflix?
It might have been.
I think it was on Netflix.
Oof.
But yeah, it was about the NFT monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they used real NFTs for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know if that was animated.
But it was.
Was it?
It wasn't animated by an AI. That's why it's so bad.
Okay.
Because nobody wanted.
They already did a crypto thing, so I mean, you toss AI into it.
No, I mean, I guess the AI wouldn't have made it any better, TBH, especially at the time. But like, but no, I'm saying like, yeah, I don't know. You could just, I don't think that any film could, because artists have integrity. Even the people that are above them trying to make the money, they know that people are not gonna.
Hopefully,
at least for a little bit, they for the most part understand that nobody is gonna want, not nobody, but a very small amount of people are going to actually support something that isn't made by
right now,
like an artist or something like that.
Right now.
And a lot of like artistry companies, like they're not going to want to make something that they're not involved in, so they would find something else anyway.
Right now.
Like I said, Illuminate, Sony, I guess it's Sony, because Sony makes Spider-Verse. And so I was like they implemented the AI and they were all cool with it because it did just enough to help them out. If they had done more, probably been like, no thanks. And I found out like there's an anime that's being worked on right now that has AI generated backgrounds, and like people were mad about it at first, and I think people still are mad about it. But an actual artist drew the backgrounds, and then they fed them into an AI in order to like increase the resolution or change a bit of it. It saved them a bunch of time, and the artist still they still had their artists doing their jobs. The whole rest of it's animated by hand, by people. Just the backgrounds were just doodled and then given to an AI so it could look better. And they're like, yeah, I couldn't have done that. And so, like, I don't blame it. I feel like that's another point in which AI art could... So, like, almost someone like me, if I really wanted to, if I, like, paid premium for one of these AI things, and I drew, I increased my drawing abilities, I kept practicing... I could probably make something that looks halfway decent between drawing it myself and then using AI to help make it better. I think that's where it has uses and is cool. I don't think I would try to monetize it unless it gets really popular. Then maybe I would. But like, at least at first, I'd be like, hey guys, check out this cool thing I made.
Yeah. And
if enough people checked it out, I'd be like, okay, now if you want to support me, like, do it. But
you're the problem.
Maybe. But I'm just saying, like, it's cool. But it's terrifying at the same time. Mostly just terrifying.
Yeah.
But
and I am kind of just like doom posting for a lot of this.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm serious, but I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's definitely something to look out for, but I'm not that concerned. I mean, I am a little concerned, but yeah, I don't think it'll. Like you were saying, companies like that, like. Aren't going to just be like, all right, everybody out.
Yeah. No, because then they sink.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, they just sink. It's pyramid. The bottom has to support the top.
Yeah.
And if you got the bottom, it's going to fall apart.
But I am curious if, 20, 30 years, everybody's used to
no,
it.
just remember what the Squidward AI said. August 26, 2043, the heat death of the universe. We won't be here in 20 or 30 years.
Man, I hope not.
I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up, though, before it gets placed into a loop of more fears of the same variety. Yeah. So thank you guys for listening to us. How do you feel about AI? If you're watching on YouTube, comment below. If you're not on YouTube, thank you for checking out our Spotify. Go listen to our other episodes if you haven't listened to them yet. If not, hit that follow button and listen to the next one, because we keep saying we're going to do more. I'm really hoping that we do more. We're not doing the camera today. I don't know if the camera's going to come back for all of them. But again, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you in the next video if you're watching our YouTube, or again, if you're on our Spotify, we will hopefully have you listen to us again in the next one. Anything else?
Nope, that's everything.
All right. Bye, guys.